Ladies and gentlemen, before I begin, I want you to imagine something. Imagine being told that you're not smart enough. Imagine walking into school every single day, wondering if today would be another day someone would laugh at you, push you, or make you feel like you don't belong. Now imagine that same child growing up to build companies that change the way the world drives, the way the world explores space, and the way humanity dreams about the future. Sounds impossible, but this isn't a movie. This is the story of Elon Musk. And trust me, by the time I finish telling you this story, you'll realize that success isn't about being lucky. It's about surviving the moments that almost destroy you. Most people know Elon Musk as one of the richest men in the world. They see the rockets, they see the electric cars, they see the billions. But almost nobody talks about the lonely little boy who spent more time with books than with friends. A boy who escaped into stories because real life was often much harder than anyone around him realized. Elon was born in Pretoria, South Africa. From a very young age, he became fascinated by science, technology, and the biggest questions imaginable. While other children were playing outside for hours, Elon could spend entire days reading, book after book, idea after idea, dream after dream. Many people thought he was strange. Some misunderstood his quiet personality. School wasn't easy. He faced bullying, and those experiences left deep emotional scars. But here's the incredible part. Instead of allowing pain to define him, he allowed curiosity to shape him. At just 12 years old, he taught himself computer programming. And then, he created a video game called Blaster. It wasn't a billion-dollar company. It wasn't world-changing. But it was proof of something far more important. He had discovered that ideas inside his mind could become something real. That tiny victory planted a seed that would one day grow into companies that millions of people would know. But the road ahead wasn't filled with success. It was filled with risk, failure, and decisions that almost cost him everything. And what happened next changed not only Elon Musk's life, but the future of technology itself. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever had a dream so big that everyone around you thought you were crazy? Because that's exactly what happened to Elon Musk. After leaving South Africa, Elon moved to Canada, and later to the United States. He wasn't chasing comfort. He was chasing opportunity. He believed that if he wanted to change the future, he had to go where the biggest ideas could become reality. Life wasn't easy. There were days when money was tight. There were nights filled with uncertainty, but every challenge made him even more determined. Soon, Elon and his brother started a small software company called Zip2. It wasn't glamorous. They worked incredibly long hours. Sometimes they slept at the office because they couldn't afford anything better. Most people would have given up. But Elon believed something extraordinary. If your vision is big enough, today's struggle becomes tomorrow's story. Years of hard work finally paid off. Zip2 was sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. For the first time in his life, Elon had enough money to live comfortably for the rest of his life. Most people would have retired. Most people would have bought luxury houses, expensive cars, and lived without another worry. But Elon Musk wasn't chasing comfort. He was chasing impact. Instead of protecting his fortune, he risked it again. He invested in a new online payment company that would later become PayPal. People doubted the idea. Many believed online payments would never become mainstream. But Elon saw the future before others did. Once again, he refused to think like everyone else. And once again, the impossible became possible. When PayPal was sold, Elon became even wealthier. Now he had enough money to never work another day in his life. But that's exactly when he made the most dangerous decision of his entire career. A decision that almost destroyed everything he had built. And trust me, what happened next is the reason the world knows the name Elon Musk today. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the biggest difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is not that they never fail. It is that they continue when failure feels impossible to overcome. After the success of PayPal, Elon Musk had money, recognition, and a comfortable future ahead of him. But instead of choosing an easy life, he chose the hardest road. He had a vision that humanity should become a multiplanetary species, a vision that electric cars could one day replace traditional vehicles. At that time, many people laughed. They called his ideas unrealistic. Some experts believed electric cars could never become successful. And many people thought private companies could never compete with powerful space organizations. But Elon didn't see impossibility. He saw a challenge. He invested a huge part of his own fortune into two ambitious companies, Tesla and SpaceX. But building the future came with a price. SpaceX faced failure after failure. The first rocket launch failed. The second launch failed. The third launch failed. Every failure brought the company closer to running out of money. At the same time, Tesla was also struggling. The company was facing serious financial problems. By 2008, Elon Musk was standing at the most difficult moment of his life. The man who had once created successful companies was now watching his dreams come close to disappearing. He had a choice. He could walk away, protect what money he had left, and accept that his dreams were too big. Or he could keep fighting, and he chose to fight. He put almost everything he had left into keeping Tesla and SpaceX alive. Imagine that moment, when the entire world is telling you that you are wrong, when everyone expects you to fail, when even your own dreams seem impossible. That is the moment when true character is revealed. Because success is not created when everything is easy. Success is created when you continue, even when there is no guarantee you will win. And then, after years of struggle, after countless doubts, something happened that changed everything. The next chapter would prove that sometimes the people who look crazy today are the ones who change the world tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes life tests you in the darkest moments, not because you are meant to lose, but because it wants to reveal how strong you really are. After years of failures and uncertainty, Elon Musk finally reached a turning point. In 2008, when everything seemed almost over, SpaceX achieved a successful rocket launch. That single success changed the future of the company. It proved that a dream that many people called impossible could actually become reality. At the same time, Tesla continued fighting to survive. Electric cars were no longer just an idea. They became a symbol of innovation and a different vision for the future. But the biggest lesson from Elon Musk's journey was never about money. It was about mindset. He showed the world that you don't have to accept the limits that other people create for you. You can choose to imagine something bigger. You can choose to build something meaningful. And most importantly, you can choose to continue even when the world tells you to stop. Because behind every success story, there are moments nobody sees. The sleepless nights, the failures, the doubts, the criticism. The moments when giving up feels easier than moving forward. But the people who change the world are often the ones who keep going when everyone else walks away. Elon Musk's story teaches us one powerful lesson. Your current situation does not decide your future. Your courage, your vision, and your willingness to keep learning can completely change your life. So the next time someone tells you that your dream is too big, remember this. Every great achievement once looked impossible. Every successful person once had a beginning. And every journey that changes the world starts with one person who refuses to give up. Thank you. If you enjoyed this story and it inspired you even a little, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because every story we share is a reminder that dreams can become reality. If you keep believing, keep learning, and never give up.